Welcome to November 2025, a month that's already breaking the mold and defying expectations across much of the country. As we turn the page on the calendar, you might notice something unusual in the air, literally. Instead of the crisp, chilly air we usually associate with November, the weather feels more like late September, with people out and about in lighter clothing, and trees stubbornly holding onto their green leaves. This unusual warmth is thanks to a powerful ridge of high pressure stretching from coast to coast. It's acting like a giant atmospheric dome, trapping warmth and keeping skies clear for millions. The calm weather pattern is actually a direct result of Hurricane Melissa, which recently swept through and drained the atmosphere of much of its energy. With the storm's departure, there's little fuel left for new storms or cold fronts to develop, leaving us with this rare tranquility. While a brief cool spell did make a short appearance, it was quickly overtaken by the dominant warmth. For November, this setup is highly unusual. Normally, we'd expect a steady march toward colder days, not a return to sunshine and mild afternoons. For most of the country, this means more opportunities to enjoy the outdoors, from late-season barbecues to extra time in the park, and even a break on heating bills as furnaces stay off. But not everyone is basking in the warmth. The Pacific Northwest is facing a very different reality. There, relentless rain and gusty winds are making their presence known, with streets flooding and trees swaying in the stormy weather. It's a dramatic contrast to the rest of the nation's calm, almost spring-like conditions. Across much of the U.S., the high-pressure ridge is pushing temperatures 10 to 12 degrees above average. Cities that usually brace for the first real taste of winter are instead trading autumn's chill for a surprising burst of warmth, with people swapping sweaters for t-shirts. The jet stream, which typically ushers in cold air from the north, has taken a sharp detour, allowing this rare, quiet, and warm start to November. It's a meteorological event that stands out, inviting us to take a closer look at what's driving these remarkable conditions, and what it might mean for the weeks ahead. To understand this week's unusually quiet weather, we need to look back at the remarkable story of Hurricane Melissa, a Category 5 powerhouse that dominated headlines and captured the attention of meteorologists around the world. Melissa was more than just a storm. It was a force of nature that devoured vast amounts of atmospheric energy as it churned across the Atlantic, leaving a dramatic mark on both the ocean and the sky above. As Melissa moved along its path, it left the atmosphere depleted, stripped of the heat and moisture needed to fuel new storms or trigger the usual outbreaks of cold air. The skies that once raged with thunder and wind became eerily calm, almost as if the atmosphere itself was taking a deep breath. When the storm finally dissipated, it didn't just fade away, it left behind a stable, energy-starved environment. The air was so thoroughly drained that even the smallest disturbances struggled to grow, and the usual cycle of storm formation was put on hold. The jet stream, which often acts as a conveyor belt for weather systems, found itself lacking the strong temperature contrasts it needs to drive powerful storms. As a result, it retreated northward, allowing a broad dome of high pressure to settle in and dominate the weather pattern. The usual autumn clash of warm and cold air masses is now on pause, with frigid Arctic air bottled up far to the north, unable to surge southward and bring the dramatic weather swings we often expect this time of year. In the tropics, the ocean has fallen silent. The hurricane season, once so active and threatening, is now winding down in the wake of Melissa's exit, with no new storms on the horizon. Meteorologists and forecasters, who just days ago were tracking Melissa's every move, now see little chance for new tropical development. Their maps are quiet, and their focus has shifted to monitoring this rare period of calm. Melissa's legacy is not just the destruction it left behind, but also this extraordinary continent-wide calm, a powerful reminder of how a single storm can reshape weather patterns far beyond its immediate path, influencing the atmosphere on a massive scale. Now the atmosphere waits in a state of recharge, quietly gathering energy for whatever comes next. For now, we watch and wonder when the next round of action will begin. The dominant feature this week is a sprawling ridge of high pressure, a mountain of air causing warmth and dryness. Sinking air beneath the ridge compresses and warms, evaporating moisture and shutting down clouds and rain. This high-pressure dome pulls in warm air from the south and west, spreading mild conditions across the country. With little atmospheric energy left, the ridge faces no opposition, holding steady for days. Normally, energetic troughs would break this pattern, but they're weak and deflected north. The result: consistent, dry, and mild weather for millions. Rain and snow need rising air and moisture, but the dominant ridge provides the opposite: sinking, drying air. Any moisture that tries to enter evaporates before producing rain. For most, it's an extended stretch of sunny, peaceful weather, a rare November treat. While most of the U.S. enjoys calm, the Pacific Northwest faces a relentless atmospheric river, a fire hose of Pacific moisture. This brings days of heavy rain and gusty winds, especially along the coast and mountains. Orographic lift squeezes out inches of rain, raising flood and landslide concerns. Umbrellas are essential here, while just east the high-pressure ridge dries out the air, creating a sharp weather divide. Seattle and Portland get soaked, but Spokane stays dry, a classic ridge trough pattern. The wet, windy setup continues through the weekend with more rain on the way. While a nuisance, the rain helps replenish water supplies and reduce wildfire risk. For the Northwest, it's the start of their wet season, a world apart from the rest of the nation's warmth. Across the southern U.S., from the southwest to the southeast, expect spectacular warmth and sunshine. By midweek, temperatures soar, 80s in Texas and the southwest, 70s in the southeast. Dallas, for example, will feel more like early October than November. The Midwest also enjoys a mild spell, with 60s reaching Nebraska and Iowa, and even the Dakotas in the 50s. Dry air and blue skies dominate, with severe weather threats off the table thanks to stable conditions. The only exception, a minor disturbance brings light rain to the northeast and Maine late in the week. Any snow will be limited to New England's highest peaks. For most, it's a brief interruption in an otherwise tranquil, unseasonably warm week. The warmth stretches far and wide, holding the usual autumn chill at bay. The jet stream, often called the conductor of our weather, is taking a dramatic and unusual detour this week, setting the stage for a remarkable shift in conditions across the continent. This high-altitude river of fast-moving air usually snakes its way from west to east, guiding storms and shaping temperature patterns below. But right now, it's breaking from its typical rhythm, and the effects are being felt far and wide. Instead of following its familiar wavy path, the jet stream is arching dramatically far north over Canada. This unusual bulge is allowing a powerful dome of high pressure to settle over much of the United States, effectively blocking the usual parade of weather systems that would bring rain, wind, or cooler air. With the jet stream out of the way, warm air from the south is free to surge northward, spreading unseasonably mild conditions deep into the Midwest and northern plains. People are enjoying outdoor activities in t-shirts and light jackets, a rare treat for this time of year, as autumn's chill is temporarily held at bay. Surface winds have shifted, now blowing steadily from the south and southwest. These winds are acting like a conveyor belt, pulling in warm, subtropical air and pushing it farther north than usual. This influx of warmth is not just a fleeting moment, it's reshaping the feel of the season for millions. Under this broad ridge of high pressure, most of the country is basking in calm, clear days. The skies are a deep blue, the air is still, and there's barely a breeze to disturb the peaceful rural landscapes. It's a tranquil scene, with little sign of the usual autumn bluster. In some areas, morning fog may linger in the valleys, creating a soft, ethereal start to the day. But as the sun climbs higher, the mist quickly burns away, revealing bright sunshine and reinforcing the sense of calm that dominates the region. The only exceptions to this widespread tranquility are found in the Pacific Northwest and the far northeast. Here, the jet stream dips just enough to steer an atmospheric river into the northwest, bringing clouds and steady rain. In the northeast, a small dip in the jet stream allows for occasional light rain, a gentle reminder of the season's usual unpredictability. Even a minor wiggle in the jet stream can bring noticeable change, shifting weather patterns in a matter of hours. But for now, the dominant pattern keeps most of the country tranquil, with only subtle hints of change on the horizon. It's a rare and fascinating setup, a vivid demonstration of how a single atmospheric shift can reshape weather from coast to coast. The jet stream's detour reminds us just how interconnected our weather systems are, and how quickly the familiar can give way to the extraordinary. For storm chasers, this week is a letdown. Most of the U.S. is locked in quiet, stable weather. The high-pressure ridge, sinking air, and lack of energy mean storms simply can't form. Outside the Pacific Northwest's rain and a brief northeast shower, the map is calm. November usually brings severe weather, but the cold air is trapped in Canada, and the jet stream is far north. Severe thunderstorms and tornadoes are virtually impossible this week. Early winter storms are also absent, except for snow at the highest mountain peaks. Drought-stricken areas get no relief as dry weather persists. The storm factory is closed, pleasant for daily life, but unhelpful for those needing rain. While this warm, dry pattern dominates, change is on the horizon. By next weekend, the high-pressure ridge may weaken, letting Pacific storms push further inland. The Intermountain West could see rain and mountain snow, while the Ohio Valley and Northeast may get a taste of unsettled weather. It's not a major storm, but a sign the atmosphere is recharging and shifting toward a more typical November pattern. Blocking ridges rarely last more than 7–10 days. Soon the jet stream will dip south, bringing colder air and more active weather. Enjoy the mild spell, but be ready for a return to rain, wind, and even the season's first snows as November deepens. This week is a pleasant pause before winter's return. What sets this week apart isn't just the warmth, but its timing, scale, and cause. A continent-wide, prolonged warm spell in November is rare, especially one linked directly to a single hurricane's energy drain. The high-pressure ridge stretches from California to Maine, creating tranquil conditions almost everywhere. Meanwhile, the Pacific Northwest faces a deluge, highlighting the sharp contrast created by a buckled jet stream. It's a textbook blocking pattern, two weather worlds in one country. This week will be remembered as a meteorological anomaly, a rare, peaceful interlude before winter's grip returns. It's a reminder that the atmosphere can still surprise us, offering quiet moments as striking as any storm.